Imagine a debt unpaid for centuries, a debt that continues to affect millions of lives. Now, what if that debt amounts to billions of dollars? Recently, the descendants of enslaved people who built St. Louis University in Missouri have demanded reparations. They estimate about $74 billion for unpaid labor. A group known as the Descendants of St. Louis University Enslaved, or DSLU, has risen to the challenge, led by civil rights attorney Areva Martin. The question remains, can a monetary value truly compensate for centuries of unpaid labor and the lasting effects of slavery? The pathway to reparations is not a recent development, it's been unfolding for decades. The conversation gained momentum in the late 20th century with the introduction of a bill known as H.R. 40 by Rep. John Conyers. This bill, introduced in every congressional session from 1989 to 2017, proposed the establishment of a commission to examine the impact of slavery and develop reparations proposals. Fast forward to 2021, H.R. 40 passed a committee vote, marking a significant milestone in the path to reparations. In the same vein, Reverend Cori Bush of Missouri recently advanced legislation pushing for federal reparations, proposing a whopping $14 trillion to bridge the racial wealth gap. Adding to the narrative, Nikole Hannah-Jones's Pulitzer Prize-winning series, The 1619 Project, has been instrumental in strengthening the case for reparations. Through a historic and contemporary analysis of the impact of slavery, the series emphasizes the need for both financial restitution and investment in Black communities and institutions. Despite these efforts, the journey towards reparations is still a contentious and divisive issue. The debate over reparations is far from over, with strong arguments on both sides. Advocates for reparations argue that it's a matter of justice, a way to rectify the unpaid labor that built much of the wealth in this country. They point to calculations like the $70 billion in unpaid labor owed to the descendants of enslaved people who built St. Louis University. Economists estimate federal reparations could cost between $12 and $14 trillion, aimed at eliminating the racial wealth gap. On the other hand, critics contend that such a massive financial undertaking could be too costly and divisive. They argue that it's difficult to calculate a fair figure and identify who should be eligible. A significant disparity in views exists between Democrats and Republicans, with a majority of Democrats in favor of reparations, while the vast majority of Republicans oppose. Moreover, there's a debate over whether state and local efforts can substitute federal reparations. While some believe these initiatives are a step in the right direction, others argue that a federal program with direct payments is necessary to fully address the racial wealth gap. As the descendants of enslaved people continue to seek justice, the question remains, will the debt ever be paid in full?